told from the very beginning, don't talk to Ellen, don't do this, you can't, go into her office. We all walked on eggshells all the time.
Not too long ago, quiet whispers started spreading that Ellen wasn't as bright and bubbly behind the scenes as she looked on TV. What started as small talk online suddenly blew up into a headline-making storm that nobody saw coming. Step by step, the picture of TV's nicest woman began to crack, and by March 2020, her polished image took a serious hit when one Twitter thread spun out of control and grabbed the whole internet by the collar. It moved fast, and people were locked in, watching it unfold in real time.
30.
I did.
And how was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited.
The real explosion happened when comedy writer Kevin T. Porter posted a tweet saying he would donate $2 to a Los Angeles food bank for every story shared about alleged bad behavior linked to the talk show host. That one post lit a match, and the internet ran wild with it. Replies flooded in from everywhere, stacking up by the minute, and people even joked that his bank account must have been shaking by the end of it.
Yeah.
But I did invite you and you didn't come, so.
This time you invited me?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How do you know? I don't think so.
Ask everybody.
Oh yeah, I had that thing.
Within hours, the situation went viral, timelines were packed, and the noise was way too loud to brush off.
Get to talk to you. She emailed the owner of the restaurant and complained about your chip nail polish.
What?
And I was like,
One story that really got people talking claimed a new staffer was warned right away that there was a daily target inside the workplace. According to the account, the advice was cold and straight to the point. It's not personal, just deal with it for the day, and tomorrow it'll be someone else, as the alleged mood kept switching up non-stop.
She laughed and she said, every production needs their dog.
Meaning
Meaning Ed is her dog.
That detail alone had people raising eyebrows and questioning what the real vibe behind the cameras looked like.
I think I need cue cards, but every single thing I'm saying is on the cue card. For instance, excuse me, my throat is so dry. Let me show you right here. We have...
If true, it painted a picture that felt tense and unpredictable, and social media ran with it fast. Then more claims piled on.
And she would laugh because I was hoping she was going to say, Ed, you can't be yelling at the crew this way. You can't.
Some employees alleged that people were sent home if they tried to speak without chewing gum, saying it was because of her sensitive nose. And that rumor only cranked the shock factor higher. The idea sounded wild to many, and timelines lit up with debates about what was fact and what was exaggeration. At the same time, someone who said they worked as a server at the LA restaurant Real Food Daily shared their own story about an encounter with the celebrity. The server alleged she almost lost her job after a complaint was made about the condition of her nail polish, and that detail spread online at lightning speed. A year later, Porter told Metro, "I always thought that she was kind of bulletproof," admitting the backlash was likely heavy.
You can't be smarter, funnier than Ellen. She's the comedian and the star, not you. Turn the cameras off, she would not even acknowledge the audience.
He called it a real drag to see such a public image take a hit. Even producers eventually stepped forward, including one who spoke to Inside Edition about their experience, pushing the controversy even deeper into the spotlight. It didn't take long for what started as online jokes and messy tweets to flip into a full-blown scandal. What seemed like random internet drama suddenly felt serious, and people stopped laughing and started watching closely. The tone shifted overnight, and the conversation got heavy fast. While a lot of anti-Ellen posts were brushed off as rumors or secondhand stories, the backlash tied directly to her daytime show hit on a whole different level. This time, the claims were reportedly coming from inside the workplace, and that gave them more weight in the public eye. During the early days of the pandemic, several employees alleged they were left completely in the dark by leadership, according to reports from Variety.
Terrified of porcelain dolls.
I heard that.
All right. My wife, come on, stop, man.
That was the wingspan.
No, my friends used this photo to make fun of me.
That detail alone sent shockwaves through the entertainment world and had insiders talking. Reports claimed around 30 crew members received little to no clear updates during the first lockdown phase, with producers allegedly not explaining what was happening with pay, schedules, or job security.
From being in quarantine is that people, this is like being in jail, is what it is. It's mostly because I've been wearing the same clothes for 10 days and everyone in here is gay.
Then things escalated even more when workers found out the show had brought in a production company outside their union so Ellen could continue hosting from her California home. That move seriously fueled the outrage and shifted how many people looked at the entire situation. Just a week before everything exploded, Ellen had publicly said the only reason she returned to work during such a chaotic time was because she cared deeply about her behind-the-scenes crew. That statement quickly came back around, because by July 2020, the situation escalated even more. Several current and former staff members, speaking anonymously, stepped forward with stronger and more damaging claims about their experiences on the daytime show.
Yeah, I thought something was going on that because it was too orchestrated, it was too coordinated. And
the tone shifted from gossip to serious real-world consequences fast. One employee alleged they felt pushed to quit after experiencing racism in the workplace, while another claimed they were let go after taking time off to deal with a family bereavement. Those accusations landed heavy and sparked another wave of outrage across social media. Even though Ellen herself was not directly accused of carrying out those specific actions, many people argued that leadership still carries responsibility, especially when your name is stamped on the brand. An ex-staffer told BuzzFeed News if she wants to have her own show and have her name on the show title, she needs to be more involved to see what's going on. And that quote spread everywhere within hours. The pressure kept building, and soon 3 producers from the show issued an official response to the allegations. In their statement, they said, "We take all of this very seriously, and we realize as many in the world are learning that we need to do better, are committed to do better, and we will do better." That message was meant to calm things down, but instead it kept the spotlight locked tight on the show as the controversy refused to fade. After the wave of serious claims about a toxic work culture connected to the Ellen DeGeneres show, everything reached a breaking point. The noise was too loud to ignore, and an internal investigation was officially launched. But instead of calming things down, reports said the findings uncovered even more troubling behavior behind the scenes, shaking the show's foundation harder than ever. Soon after, 3 executive producers exited the show following allegations involving sexual harassment and intimidating conduct. That move sent a clear signal that leadership couldn't just brush this off and move on. Warner Brothers Executive Vice President of Programming, David Maguire, emailed staff to stress the need for a real culture reset, writing, "Many of you have spoken with Warner Media's investigators, and we thank you for your honesty. I hope this note is another way we are showing our commitment to do better." That message spread quickly and raised expectations across the board. It took a while before Ellen DeGeneres released her own apology, and when it finally came out, reactions were mixed at best. Some viewers felt it didn't fully confront the damage being discussed, and the pressure refused to let up. Instead of closing the chapter, the fallout kept stretching out, and it was clear the storm wasn't done yet.
Changing their title or giving yourself a nickname, do not go with the Be Kind lady. Don't do it. I am that person that you see on TV. I am a work in progress.
As the toxic workplace controversy started circling Ellen's career like a storm cloud, some celebrities jumped in to defend her, while others did the exact opposite and turned the volume all the way up. Instead of cooling things off, their reactions poured more attention on the drama and made it impossible to ignore. Take Everybody Loves Raymond star Brad Garrett, for example. He publicly backed the growing belief that Ellen's Be Kind image didn't line up with what was allegedly happening behind the scenes. He wrote, "Sorry, but it comes from the top," and claimed it was common knowledge that more than one person had been treated badly. That post hit social media like a shockwave and sparked a fresh round of heated debate within minutes. And Garrett wasn't the only one speaking out. Actress Leah Thompson backed him up with a short but strong tweet, simply writing, "True story, it is." That brief message carried serious weight and added even more fuel to the conversation, already dominating timelines everywhere.
I am announcing that next season, season 19, is going to be my last season. And I am forever grateful to all of you for watching, for laughing, for dancing, sometimes crying.
Several months after Ellen's reputation and the show's workplace culture were pulled into the spotlight, she decided it was finally time to speak up publicly. Viewers were locked in, waiting to hear how she would handle it, but the reaction did not land the way many expected. During a September 2020 episode of The Ellen DeGeneres Show, she kicked off her monologue by casually asking the audience about their summer before steering the conversation toward her own experience. Then came the line that really set social media off. She said, "Let me give you some advice out there. If anybody's thinking of changing their title or giving yourself a nickname, do not go with the Be Kind lady. Don't do it." That comment instantly raised eyebrows and triggered backlash across timelines. Many viewers, including former employees who had previously spoken out about the show's alleged toxic environment, jumped online to share their frustration.
Yeah, I got kicked out of show business. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm mean.
Critics argued the joke made serious concerns sound smaller than they were, and some said it felt less like real accountability and more like shifting the spotlight back onto herself. The tension didn't fade either. It just kept building as the debate rolled on. Over the next 6 months, the fallout showed up in the numbers in a big way. The show reportedly lost more than 1 million viewers, and the ratings dropped fast. The Ellen DeGeneres show suddenly found itself trailing behind competitors like Live with Kelly and Ryan and Dr. Phil. And that shift grabbed the industry's attention immediately. What once looked untouchable now looked vulnerable, and everyone noticed. It didn't stop there either. Ad revenue reportedly slid from $131 million down to $105 million, a steep dip that raised serious concerns behind the scenes. When that kind of money starts shrinking, sponsors and network executives pay very close attention. The financial pressure only added another layer to an already tense situation. By May 2021, the show's fate was sealed. Ellen confirmed the long-running daytime series would be coming to an end. Speaking to The Hollywood Reporter, she said, "I was going to stop after season 16. That was going to be my last season," and explained that while the network pushed for 4 more years, she only agreed to consider 1. In the end, they settled on a 3-year compromise. Ellen insisted the controversies played no role in her decision, but plenty of viewers weren't fully convinced and kept questioning the timing. Ellen admitted the final episode of her daytime show would hit her hard emotionally, but that wasn't the only curtain getting ready to close. Behind the scenes, more than one project was quietly heading toward the chopping block, and the signs were starting to show. After nearly 20 years as a daytime TV fixture and about 4 years in primetime, Ellen began disappearing from network lineups faster than people expected. Right before her long-running talk show wrapped, reports confirmed that her evening spin-off was also being shelved after 4 seasons. That update caught plenty of viewers off guard and sparked fresh questions about what was really happening behind the scenes. Ellen's Game of Games had been a steady NBC performer since its 2017 debut, building off the most playful and chaotic challenges from the Ellen DeGeneres show. Contestants competed in wild games for a chance to win up to $100,000, and it brought big energy to primetime. But even that momentum wasn't enough to save it.
How could you not know? And if you didn't know, should you have known?
According to The Hollywood Reporter, ratings had been sliding, especially during the 2020 to 2021 season, signaling that audience interest was cooling off fast and the network was ready to move on. Things only got tougher when NBC moved the show into a Sunday nighttime slot, a switch that seemed to speed up its decline. That scheduling shift cut into its visibility and made it harder to keep casual viewers tuned in week after week. Momentum faded fast, and just like that, after nearly 20 years on television, Ellen was suddenly off the air, exiting the spotlight almost as quickly as contestants used to drop through the trapdoors on her own game show. After the talk show ended, Ellen stepped back and kept a noticeably low profile for a while. Then she briefly returned to screens with a Discovery Channel documentary titled Saving the Gorillas, Ellen's Next Adventure. The special highlighted her passion for wildlife and conservation, showing a calmer, more personal side of her life. Still, it was clear that her chapter as a non-stop television fixture had officially wrapped, and the industry had shifted into a whole new era.
I don't know how I could have known when there's 255 employees here.
She tried to circle back to comedy, but just like a lot of moves tied to her in the 2000s, it didn't play out smoothly at all. What was supposed to feel like a clean farewell tour quickly turned awkward and confusing, with plans shifting behind the scenes and fans left trying to figure out what was going on. In July 2024, Ellen suddenly cancelled 4 scheduled tour stops in Chicago, San Francisco, Seattle, and San Diego. There was no detailed explanation and no big announcement, just abrupt cancellations that caught ticket holders off guard. The silence around it only fueled more speculation online, and even now, there hasn't been a full public breakdown of what led to those dates being pulled. Then the next year, the pattern showed up again overseas. After relocating to the UK's Cotswolds, Ellen revealed a smaller, more intimate local tour called In Conversation, teasing a stripped-down and personal format. But once again, the shows were quietly cancelled before they even kicked off. With no clear reason shared, the tour wrapped before a single live conversation happened, leaving yet another chapter unfinished and surrounded by big question marks. If Ellen believed her 2024 Netflix special would finally quiet the critics, that hope faded fast. Instead of feeling like a strong comeback, For Your Approval dropped her right back into intense scrutiny. The reviews landed hard, and the overall reaction was far from the redemption moment some expected. Critics were blunt with their takes. Variety labeled the special painfully self-indulgent, and that phrase spread across social media within hours. The Independent went even further, calling it bizarre, unfunny, and self-pitying, which sparked a fresh wave of debate and reaction clips online. Those headlines stuck, and they shaped the conversation almost immediately. Much of the criticism focused on how Ellen addressed the toxic workplace controversy that followed the final stretch of her talk show. Many viewers felt she was still presenting herself as the one most hurt by the situation, rather than fully sitting with the concerns that had been raised. That angle didn't land well for a lot of people, and instead of sealing the story shut, it brought the whole debate rushing back into the spotlight once again. Ellen made it clear that she was officially stepping away from stand-up comedy for good, describing it as a permanent exit from the stage. She didn't frame it as a break or a pause. She called it done, full stop. That bold declaration grabbed attention, but surprisingly, it didn't spark much resistance. In fact, several reviewers openly said they were completely fine with that decision, and some even hinted it might be the right moment to close that chapter. After everything that had unfolded over the past few years, many felt the timing made sense. Instead of protest, the reaction felt more like a quiet nod and a collective exhale. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Fame Rant Daily for more deep dives into influencer and media industry drama, power abuse behind the scenes, and the stories that don't get talked about enough. This story might be over on TV, but online it's far from finished, and the next one is already lining up. I'll see you in the next video.